It is a beautiful late Saturday ACC football from Stanford Stadium. It's the Cardinal taking on the Mustangs from Cal Poly. The Stanford Cardinal in search of their first home win since October of 2022. And they're trying to get Troy Taylor his first home victory. Coach Alec Iomanner, the standout receiver, one of the top receivers in the country, will be on display for the Stanford Cardinal this afternoon. Along with Michael Bumpus and Sherry Burris, Roxy Bernstein with you. Welcome to Stanford. And for the Cardinal, we alluded to it, Troy Taylor still trying to get that first home victory. Stanford playing an FCS opponent in Cal Poly today. They lost to Sac State, an FCS team last year, so you know the Mustangs have Stanford's full attention.
Oh, yeah, they should have their attention, right? You can't sleep on anybody. You need to get that first win here at home. Set the tone. I'm excited for some football. I want to see some adjustments that are going to be made. We
showed Alec Iomanner, the standout Stanford receiver. You played the position, Bump. You know it all too well. What makes him so special?
Man, one, he's a big boy. 6'2", 210. He can get it done. He can run routes, and he makes the tough catch. 294 against Colorado last year, 107 against TCU last week. Feed that man. Get him the ball early and often.
There is Iomanner. And Stanford in week 1 on the Friday night game last Friday played TCU very tough late in the late in that game in the fourth quarter. And just couldn't finish the deal against the Horned Frogs. And the first time that Stanford and Cal Poly have hooked up. And Cal Poly Mustangs out of the Big Sky Conference. And Paul Wolf, their head coach, in his second season. And trying to engineer an upset. It's been over 10 years since Cal Poly beat an FBS team. They won in 2012 at Wyoming. Stanford has David Casamervis back near the goal line along with Bryce Farrell to return. And the run up and kickoff for Cal Poly. Both teams 0-1 coming into this one today is Noah Cerna with a short kickoff, and the fair catch made. That's Tiger Bachmeyer, who is a starting receiver for Stanford, so it will come out to the 25 for the Cardinal as we go down to the field. Say good afternoon to Sherry Burris.
Well, Roxy, right now in front of Stanford lies the opportunity to get their first home win under head coach Troy Taylor. The Cardinal is 1-8 here at Stanford Stadium in just the second season under Coach Taylor. But he says there is no overconfidence as they host FCS opponent Cal Poly today. You just have to flip the calendar back to last year. As you mentioned, they lost to FCS opponent Sacramento State. But wide receiver Ismail Cece is confident, saying that just you have to tune in to watch. They're going to wake people up, Roxy.
All right, Sherry, and first down, Ashton Daniels, the Stanford quarterback, on the rollout. Throws it underneath. It's complete to Michael Ford. And he steps out of bounds just shy of the first down. Second and short coming up for the Cardinal. But Daniels last week, 17 for 35 with a touchdown pass. Threw for 163 yards and 1 interception. He also led Stanford in rushing. 87 yards on the ground. And now Justin Lamson in at quarterback, to transfer from Syracuse. Split backs with Lamson, who keeps, and the power running quarterback barrels his way for a first down. And we've seen this from Stanford before, but Justin Lamson looking to lower the shoulder, and he's not afraid to go between the tackles.
Lamson is that utility player, right? Whatever you need from him, you will get from him. 6'2", 215. Sprinkle in this young man whenever you can and make this a physical game. I think that favors Stanford.
So Lamson trots out. Ashton Daniels returns at quarterback for the Cardinal, just getting going. Stanford at their own 38-yard line. Break from the huddle is Micah Ford, the freshman running back from Toms River, New Jersey. Alec Iomanner split out to the left, and Daniels looks for him, has him, and he gets leveled as he makes the catch, brought down just shy of the first down. Nice physical play by Kai Rapola, the corner for Cal Poly.
Love what I'm seeing here. That was a little RPO action, right? You want to pick up that blitz that Cal Poly sent through the A and the B. Gets us to his playmaker, first down.
They'll give him the 10 yards and a first down. So the Cardinal at the 48-yard line after taking the opening kickoff. Picked up a couple of first downs. Daniels 2 for 2 to start this one. Freshman Ford, the running back, Ismail Cece goes in motion. And from the pocket, fired over the middle. It's incomplete. Tried to squeeze that into Sam Roush, the tight end, who was double covered on the play.
Just a little spacing concept right there. You get about 5 yards down the field. Try to hook up with your quarterback. Not a bad decision. I love the timing of that, though. Got the football out of his hands quickly. Gave his tight end an opportunity to make a play.
So Daniels, you see, he's got the green dot in communication with Troy Taylor. As the head coach is also the offensive coordinator and calls the plays and also tutors the quarterbacks here for the Cardinal. The Andrew Luck staff position, the leader of the offense. There's a fumble, not free. Ford lost it, and Cal Poly has it. Jumping on the football for the Mustangs. Ethan Calvert, the Utah transfer, as the fumble forced by Ethan Rodriguez, the defensive lineman, and a turnover by the Cardinal, and Cal Poly has it on the plus side of the field.
That's his shooting that gap right there. You see an opening, you go ahead and get it. There's been some miscommunication on that offensive line for Stanford. And we spoke to Coach Taylor. He says, look, this Poly defensive line is the best part of their team. It shows right there.
So Ethan Rodriguez, the senior, who missed all last season with an injury, and Ethan Calvert, who had his season cut short a year ago. And a turnover from the Stanford 38. Bo Kelly, the sophomore quarterback from Dana Point. And he'll hand it off, and straight ahead goes Aiden Ramos, the redshirt freshman running back for about 3. Runs into Wilfredo Ibar. And there is Kelly, who had a turbulent week last week. He did a lot of good things, Bump, but he also threw 2 pick sixes in their season opening loss in San Diego to the University of San Diego.
Yeah, you can't give away free points like that, but he was forced to throw the ball a lot. They could not run the football against San Diego. Let's see how he bounces back this week.
They had a total of 8 rushing yards last week against the Toreros. On second down, here's Bo Kelly dumping it off, cutting it back, breaking a tackle. Aiden Ramos spins out of bounds, shoved out by Scotty Edwards. First down, Cal Poly. This was the run game, or lack thereof, last week for Cal Poly.
Yeah, it's so hard to be a quarterback when you cannot run the football. That means that defense can just sit back, play soft coverage in the zone, read your eyes, and react to the football. I'm sure it's an emphasis this week to feed your running backs early, just like we saw there.
And when you're a former offensive lineman, as Cal Poly head coach Paul Wolf is,
Nightmares, Roxy.
From the pistol look, and hit in the backfield spinning, Wilfredo Ibar with the tackle on top of Aiden Ramos, as Paul Wolf, a former head coach at Washington State. In his second season at Cal Poly, they went 3-8 last year. A 3-time Big Sky Coach of the Year. He did a phenomenal job up at Eastern Washington for 8 years.
Yeah, I got love for Wolf, man. Go Cougs. He coached out there, so I love my guy. He also has Rosenball on this team for some other Cougs as well.
And Paul Wolf, a former All-Pac-10 offensive lineman for Wazoo. On second down, Bo Kelly from the pocket. And on the slant, it's complete, and a first down to Giancarlo Woods. And Cal Poly in the red zone.
That's just soft coverage right there. Pre-snap, QB knows he's going there. 3-step slant. As long as you're on time, you should be able to complete this football every single time you get that coverage with that route.
Woods, the leading receiver for Cal Poly last year. 6 catches and a touchdown against USD last weekend. 2 tight ends in the game for Cal Poly. On first down at the 15. Lobbing it down the sideline for the end zone. Incomplete. It was well out of bounds. Giancarlo Woods, well covered by Mitch Lieber. And Lieber and Bo Kelly go back a long way. The Stanford nickelback / safety coming over. These 2 guys played against each other in high school, went to rival schools, and they've trained together in the offseason. So Mitch Lieber very familiar with Cal Poly head coach, or quarterback rather, Bo Kelly. Second down 10. Giancarlo Woods motions, and they'll run it. And cutting it to the left is Kendrick Sanders. There's a penalty marker down as Sanders gets 5, but we'll check the flag. Nate Black is our referee today, this ACC crew.
Holding. Offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Ty Borland, the tight end, called for holding.
That's a run killer right there. You got a nice zone concept. You push it to the left, get upfield. Always hurts when you look back and see that yellow flag on the ground as a running back.
Or as an offensive lineman, because you know they probably got you.
You're pointing at each other. Who was it? Who was it?
Wasn't me. That'll back him up 10. So back to the 25. It'll be second down and a long way to go for the Mustangs. 4 receivers lined up for Bo Kelly. Stanford with 5 up on the line. They bring pressure. It hit in the backfield and a loss. Kendrick Sanders is swarmed by the Stanford front. Tobin Phillips with a penetration getting in from the Stanford front.
Good push right there by that defensive line. Tried to sell the draw. Catch him slipping, trying to let them get upfield. But once you get beat off that defensive line, it's a wrap early. Penetration, good job by Stanford.
Loss of 5, and Cal Poly in reverse now. 3rd and 25 from the Stanford 30. They're the numbers last week for Cal Poly against USD on their 3rd downs. 5 for 14. Here is Bo Kelly. Good protection, dump off underneath. It's caught by Jake Woods for a minimal gain, and that'll set up 4th down, and the field goal unit will trot out for the Mustangs.
That's just a high percentage play right there. They're not going to take a shot. They're playing for 3 points at this point. Shallow cross, get as much as you can right there. Set up your field goal kicker, hopefully put 3 on the board.
Noah Cerna, this will be a 42-yard try. And if Jesse Ehrlich's hold, and Cerna, a sophomore from Riverside, his uncle Alexis, a college football Hall of Famer, one of the best kickers we've seen collegiately at Oregon State. And Cerna has it blocked. Stanford blocks it as they swarmed right through the middle, and Stanford's special teams comes through.
That's how you do it right there, man. You switch the momentum of this game a little bit. You feel like you fire off, jump up, get your hands up. Just reach for it, baby. Good plays are gonna happen right there. Stanford responding beautifully. I love it.
Well, in case you need a refresher, here's what happened at Cal and Stanford, now in the ACC. 4 schools on to the Big Ten, including the 2 LA schools. Then the 4 off to the Big 12, the Arizonas, Colorado, Utah, and Bump's alma mater, Washington State and Oregon State, still holding up the flag for the Pac-12.
Hey, we still here, baby.
Blocked field goal, and Stanford takes over. Ashton Daniels, the quarterback design run, runs right into Elijah Ponder on the edge. And no gain for Stanford. And the blocked field goal, there is number 95. Aristotle Taylor, a great story. He blocked the field goal try of Noah Cerna. He blew out his knee in fall camp last year. Missed all of last season. Fought his way to get back out onto the field here. And the 6'7" Taylor, the coaches highlighted him to us yesterday. He's a factor and immediately has an impact.
Isn't it nice when the coaches give us great information? Said, watch out for this kid. He comes out here and makes a play.
Empty backfield for Ashton Daniels. Micah Ford split out far to the left for the Stanford quarterback. Under pressure, and he goes down. Elijah Ponder, who led the Big Sky in sacks last season, with his 2nd sack of the year. The senior from Pomona was a 3rd-team FCS All-American.
Yeah, just overwhelmed off the edge right there. Nice swing move. Keep getting after the quarterback. Again, watch the Stanford offensive line. They might move some guys around to try to protect Daniels.
That is a true freshman, Khalil House, starting at left tackle. He is from Warner Robins, Georgia. And the 4-star recruit has the tough task of going up against Ponder today. 3rd and a mile for the Cardinal, and all types of movement up front. At Stanford, shifting pieces around on the offensive line. Guys were moved around. They're looking for the right combination. They were not happy with some of the offensive line play last week, so trying to fit the pieces as best they can.
Yeah, and I feel like they'll make some adjustments throughout this game, too. We see the young men in house out there getting introduced to college football, and that's what it is. You want the right combination on that line.
Offense, number 58, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
They singled out Khalil House, but they really had their option of a few guys to choose from.
Exactly.
Khalil House, oh, I guess I'm the young guy, so they're going to pick on me.
You know what? That's when the seniors look at him, pat him on the back, and say, it's all right, young fella, we all been there.
So 5 more yards backed up for the Cardinal, facing a 3rd and 25, just past the midway point of this opening quarter. Stanford, a tough 34-27 loss to TCU here last Friday night. Again, led in the fourth quarter of that game. Daniels under pressure off his back foot, and he fires it to Alec Manor, who is tackled well shy of the first down.
Really no plays for 3rd and 25, right? So you're just trying to get as many yards as you can and set up your punter to try to keep as much field position as you can. Good catch there by 13.
So the punting unit coming out. The Cal Poly defense gets a 3 and out. As Xavier Oliphant back to return for the Mustangs. Aiden Flintoff punted away. The sophomore from Pacific Palisades averaged over 42 yards a punt last year. And a wobbler. Oliphant calling for a fair catch. Makes it, and Cal Poly will have it at their own 33-yard line. 6:31 to go in this opening quarter, just down the road from the City by the Bay. Scoreless on the farm. Michael Bumpus, I feel I should get out of the way and let you handle this segment, being the Washington State alum.
Hey, well, you know what? We can do this together. Paul Wolf, man, was the coach there from 08 to 11. Broussard played there 86 to 89, and Tim Rosenball 86 to 88. Broussard and Rosenball coached me when I was at Washington State. Two great individuals.
And also they have deep ties with Troy Taylor, the Stanford head coach, as Paul Wolf, growing up in the Woodland area just near Sacramento, went to Davis High School. Troy Taylor is from Rancho Cordova, right near Sacramento. They never played against each other in high school, but knew of each other. Then, of course, Troy Taylor was the quarterback at Cal when Paul Wolf was playing at Washington State, and Tim Rosenbach was the quarterback going against Troy Taylor for Washington State. As Bo Kelly lobs it out of bounds as he was leveled, getting rid of the football. The pressure from Stanford coming up the middle from Braden Marso Olainka, and forces that incompletion. But then Paul Wolf and Troy Taylor were teammates briefly in the NFL with the Jets.
The football world is crazy like that. You're going to come across the same people. The universe works in a circle. That's what we're seeing right here.
2nd and 10 for Cal Poly. Bo Kelly will hand it off. And little running room, if any, for Aiden Ramos. Slanting runs into Gaithan Bernadelle, Stanford linebacker and leading tackler.
Just a little zone right there, trying to climb to that second level. Looks like the center didn't get off that combo block good enough. Therefore, tackle was made.
The run game was a problem last week for Cal Poly, and it's showing it's an issue again here, going up against a more athletic and physical team in Stanford than they saw with San Diego last Saturday. 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. Stanford showing pressure. They rush 4 and the dump off. Out in the flat, hurdling Aiden Ramos, and he gets run out of bounds shy of the first down, showing some of that athleticism for the redshirt freshman.
2nd or 3rd time they try to hit the running back out in the flats like that. Now you're just being an athlete. Can't go around you, I'll go over you, but that's why you rally to the football. You make plays and help your teammates out.
Mitch Lever has scored it. Ramos to the sideline. And a 3 and out. The Mustangs will punt it back to Stanford. Tiger Bachmeyer back to return for the Cardinals, standing inside his 20. Ryan Collins, Santa Clara native, and punted just up the road at Foothill College with the boot, and Stanford running away from it to make sure they didn't get hit, and it's down inside the Stanford 25-yard line. Just over 5 minutes to go in the first. Stanford, Cal Poly, no score. Manor made a name for himself on the national stage in a remarkable comeback for the Cardinal in Boulder against Coach Prime, Deion Sanders in Colorado. Stanford trailed this game 29-0 going to halftime. And behind a record-setting performance from Alec Manor, Stanford came back and beats the Buffs in double OT at Folsom Field as Ashton Daniels keeps on first down. And he gets out near the 30-yard line. But Manor was uncoverable in that game.
Man, games like that do so much for your confidence. This guy already has confidence. You're a D1 football player, but when you go out against Prime during prime time and make plays like that, you feel unstoppable. So he has to build off of that. 1,000 yards last year, 107 so far this year. Let's see what he does today.
Full disclosure, I went to bed at halftime.
Did you?
I had a game early the next day. I was in Salt Lake City. Get ready to call Cal in Utah. And, 29-0, this game is over. Yep, little did I know, as the end around for Ismail Cisse, and a sophomore from Denver, as a first down for the Cardinal. And I wake up to it about 1 in the morning, and my cell phone's just blowing up from all these texts. I'm like, no way.
I've had the same experience a few years back when Boise State and Washington State, we were up like 25, 30 points. I went to sleep, woke up to the same text.
From the 40, Cedric Irvin in at running back after the 11-yard run by Ismail Cisse. Ashton Daniels will keep with a couple of blockers leading the way, gets to the edge, and he gets into Cal Poly territory, runs for a first down.
That's when you just follow the herd. You pull some bigs in front of you. You get a running back in front of you, and you just time it up perfectly. Look, follow your boys. 55, 20, 26. Get around the corner. 26, hit somebody, though, man. Don't pass by any type of jersey. But I like the run game. I like what 14's doing so far on the ground.
11 more for the Cardinal. And there were Daniels' numbers last week, led Stanford in rushing. And the big thing is the continuity. All the coaches are back for Stanford, and they have as much production almost as anybody in the country returning on both sides of the football. Michael Ford motions out, Ashton Daniels keeps. He picks his way for a couple. But Stanford, of all the FBS teams in America, they have the second most in terms of percentage of production back. Only Iowa State slightly more than Stanford. Stanford's offensive production, 4th highest percentage returning, 8th on the other side of the ball in defense. And 19 of their 22 starters are back from a year ago.
I love that. That means that you got some coaches out there on the football field, not just on the sideline. Guys who return and know the system, know the language, know the coaches, can help them out when they're on the football field.
Split backs with Ashton Daniels. The junior from Buford, Georgia, quarterback for the Cardinal. Fakes the inside game, hangs in the pocket, lobs it down the sideline, and the underthrown ball adjusting and catching is Cedric Irvin. First and goal, Cardinal.
Love this play right here. They've been setting this play up all drive right here, Roxy. You're showing gap scheme pull. You're pulling your offensive linemen. You're making the linebackers react. Then you get a corner with his eyes in the backfield. Daniels tosses one up. I know he wishes he led that young man, but it's okay. Explosive plays. You're down inside the 20 now.
Now a change of quarterback. Lamson comes in again. Justin Lamson. There's one rushing attempt already. First and goal for Stanford. Just outside the 5. Cedric Irvin, Micah Ford, the split running backs with Lamson. Ella Kyle Manor out to the left, and they blow it dead. And a penalty marker on the field.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Left guard, Jack Lair called for the false start.
Oh, man, you cannot have that down here. O-line problems continue to affect the Stanford drive this week, last week. You have to clean this up. You got to clean it up.
So now first and goal from just outside the 10. Justin Lamson sweeping left. And the quarterback gets run out of bounds. Nice physical play by Brian Dukes, the safety for Cal Poly, forcing second and goal.
Oh, man, I love that. This is physical football right there. You got running backs picking up blocks for you. You got Irvin leading the way, and Lamson, we know he's tough. He'll lean down, lean forward, pick up some extra yards.
Gain of 7, now second and goal for Justin Lamson. Approaching the final minute of this opening quarter. On a beautiful Saturday late afternoon, early evening on the farm. Temperature right around 80 degrees. A gorgeous day in the Bay Area. Cedric Irvin, the running back. Justin Lamson. And he gets stood up and driven backward. Elijah Ponder on the edge. This is a big-time talent that Cal Poly has in Ponder.
Oh, yeah, Ponder's been making noise all day, especially when you're going up against a rookie over there, a freshman over there in the house, man. So I like that they're running behind the young man, getting him used to this football game. But you got to get physical, get your hands on those defenders.
4 tackle for loss already for Cal Poly as Daniels comes back in a quarterback. But Ponder, the NFL scouts really like him. They think he's got potential to go maybe on the second day of the NFL draft. Clock winding down on Stanford. Ashton Daniels, final play of the opening quarter, and Stanford's into the end zone. Touchdown, Mudia Rubin for the Cardinal.
Love the way they handled adversity during this drive. You have a big play down the sideline, then you have a freshman that backs you up a little bit. You run the football, and then you cause some confusion right there. Those meshes, those crosses, especially down here in the red zone, make defenders have to communicate. Daniel does a great job of standing tall, finding the open receiver, catch and throw, touchdown.
For their extra point, 80 yards in 8 plays, just over 5 minutes, and the touchdown pass from Ashton Daniels to Mudia Rubin. Emmett Kenny taking over for the All-American Joshua Carty for the extra point. So on the final play of the opening quarter, Stanford finds the end zone. And now Emmett Kenny nails the extra point, and after 15 minutes, a 7-0 lead for the Cardinals. But Stanford
for doing what they got to do. You run the football, but when it's time to cause confusion, you throw that rock, you make some money. 14, lead the charge.
Seven 7-0 Stanford getting ready to start the second quarter on the farm. And the touchdown pass from Ashton Daniels to Mudia Rubin, who sent it down to Sherry Burris on the field.
Well, Roxy, this week, Coach Taylor told us his team has a lot to prove this week. Oftentimes, we see teams make the biggest leap from week 1 to week 2, and that's what he wants to see for his guys. And what that's going to look like, Coach Taylor told us, is consistency and physicality on both sides of the ball. He said he wants to see this Cardinal team impose their will in sustained drives. He's also the offensive coordinator, so there with the quarterbacks, you got to imagine, Roxy, he is happy getting 7 ending that first quarter.
Emmett Kenny with a kickoff into the end zone for a touchback, and as Sherry alluded to it, Michael, for years, Stanford was known to have the intellectual brutality, right? The nerd nation.
Right.
They would pound you in a submission, and that's, look, Troy Taylor has a lot more finesse, I think, to his scheme than Jim Harbaugh and David Shaw to an extent. But Stanford still wants to have that domination at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and I think you saw it during that last drive, the gap scheme, the pulling the guards and the tackles, running with the quarterback. I mean, they were physical, but when it was time to be finesse and score a touchdown, I think we saw what you're talking about.
So Bo Kelly with Kendrick Sanders, the running back, from the Cal Poly 25. Sanders switches sides. And Kelly over the middle, it's caught, and that's a first down and more. Breaking a tackle, John Carlo Woods. Gain of 17.
It's my favorite route in football. Boom, you work them outside, get verticals, put that right foot in the ground, and now just catch the football. Whenever you can get 3, 4, 5 yards after the catch, you'll accept it.
So Woods with his already second catch, his 4th target of the day. The senior from Santa Rosa led Cal Poly with 50 catches a year ago. And on first down, the fly sweep. And it's Evan Burkhart, the Arizona State transfer for the Mustangs. And he gets out across the 45 where Gaithan Bernadelle trips him up.
They're probably going to take a shot off of that play right there. The reason why you show that jet sweep look is to make the defense go east and west. You expand that defense, you get them to react. Anticipate a shot here pretty soon.
Redshirt freshman from San Francisco. Kendrick Sanders, the running back, on second down. Bo Kelly under pressure, and the crossing route underneath, right near the marker. Logan Boer with his first catch. And should be enough to move the sticks, and it will be a first down for Cal Poly.
These are the type of drives you need to put together. Just nickel and dime. I mean, they're going to have to take a shot eventually, but this is how you set everything up. They've done a great job at the middle of the field. See if they go back to it.
So at the Stanford 48-yard line, second time Poly's been in Stanford territory today. Bo Kelly fakes the handoff, escapes, and now lobs it for Sanders. And the running back slipping out, and Kendrick Sanders gets down near the 40-yard line, and Kelly had to lob it over the rusher, Wilfredo Ibar.
It's a lot of creativity right there. You fake the run to the left, you roll to the right, go back over the top. It's kind of like a trust fall. You're going to hope that your running back is in open space and finds a rock. I like the call there, though. Creativity, I love it.
6 yards, 2nd and 4. Kendrick Sanders stays in at running back. As Bo Kelly down the sideline, and a leaping catch. Michael Briscoe. Another veteran player, the senior from Vacaville, and a first down for Cal Poly, 20 yards.
You fake the handoff there, you show some movement by that offensive line, and now you just put it to a spot where you know your receiver can go up and grab the football. The more you do that, the more you make plays as a receiver, the more your quarterback's going to trust it and toss it up there for you.
They want to see Briscoe stay healthy. He's had an injury-riddled last couple of seasons for Cal Poly. The Mustangs at the Stanford 22. And down the line, Briscoe looking to throw it for the end zone. Wide open, diving catch. Touchdown, Cal Poly. Jake Woods. How about the trickery dialed up?
I like it. Something tells me that you played a little quarterback in high school, but this is what you do right here. Every trick play you have, you should be throwing it out there. Fake the run, throw the smoke screen, launch it up there. You get the defenders to bite up, boom. Make a play right there, man. Way to lay out and concentrate. Those are the easy drop right there, Roxy. You know you're by yourself. Concentration is key. There you go, Wolf. I see you, baby.
Dive catch by Jake Woods, and it was wide receiver Mike Briscoe with a touchdown pass, and a change at kicker for Cal Poly. Gianluca DeMauro will try the extra point. Trying to game here early in the second quarter, and the Mustangs who go 75 yards in 6 plays and use the trickery bump to find the end.
I said it in our notes. You better pull out the trick. Briscoe, sit up there. Nice little tight spiral. Boom, but you got to finish. You make the play. Go ahead and celebrate. Poly making it happen.
Tied at 7 early in the second quarter, and we mentioned it earlier that Stanford last year in their FCS game lost to Sacramento State, Troy Taylor's former program. And look, Sac State's been really good the last number of years, and Troy certainly built that program up. But this is a Cal Poly team that had Stanford's full attention. Troy Taylor mentioned it at a team meeting on Wednesday, reminding them of what happened last year and that you can't take anybody light.
No, you can't. And there are guys on the team who played against Sac State, and they're reminding their teammates that you can't take anyone lightly. And this is football, man, especially early in the season where there's not a lot of film on some guys. You're going to throw some trickeration out there. It's all about responding now. What is Stanford going to do with this possession?
Gianluca DeMauro with the kickoff, and Tiger Bachmeier on the 5. Looking for a lane. Gets to the outside and run out near the 30-yard line. Stanford gains a little bit by not calling the fair catch on that kickoff return. But Stanford's last drive, as opposed to their first 2 drives that we saw Stanford have the football today.
Yeah, 8 for 16 first 2 drives. In that last one, you go 8 for 78, and then you take up a lot of time off the clock, 5 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock, too. Those are the type of drives that Stanford needs to put together, and I guarantee that's part of their game. Slow this down and let's control the identity of the game.
Ashton Daniels, Stanford from their own 32. Alec Iomanner split out far to the right. And they'll run it with Micah Ford and not much running room. Forward progress will get the 35 and a gain of 3.
First down, just want to set the tone again, hand the football off. I know it's not a beautiful play, but what it does, it makes the defense respect everything you're throwing at them.
But the continuity for Stanford, having just about everybody back. Coach is now the second year of Troy Taylor's system. How much more comfortable is everybody in this offense now?
It's beautiful. The communication has to be on point during meetings and at practice.
Down the line screen, Ismail Cece picks his way out near the 40 as Cal Poly quickly closes in. Thomas Buda on the tackle for the Mustangs to bring up 3rd and about 3. Stanford 1 for 2 so far on 3rd down today. It's a big play right now for Stanford. You want to keep the drive going. Don't let Cal Poly have the momentum after the Mustangs just found the end zone. Ashton Daniels under center, and they'll give it to Cece. Spins out of a tackle. Ismail Cece can't get to the marker, brought down 2 yards shy. Cal Poly ready for that.
Yeah,
Victory Johnson, the Colorado transfer, with the play.
Surprised they tried to hit the edge right there. I thought they would hit it up the gut, but CC doing everything he can to try to make a play. That situation right there is where I feel like Stanford should be more physical, get up the A and the B, maybe put Lamson in there, but you got to go what your scouting report tells you. Something tells me Taylor felt the edges were beautiful there.
Second 3 and out for the Stanford offense, and Aiden Flintoff will punt it away for the Cardinal. And back to return is Xavier Oliphant, standing on the Cal Poly 20-yard line. And a fake for the Cardinal, and Stanford has a first down. They snapped it to the up back, and it's the backup quarterback, Justin Lamson. Rather, it's Tristan Sinclair, the other number 8, that runs for a first down.
I love it. Why not? Why not? Everyone thinks you're going to put it on the foot. You hand it to your personal protector, and all you need is 2 or 3 yards, man. Look at that. Big boy run that young man. Oh,
the sell job.
Does a great job selling that, man. Is he in theater? What's he taking over there in Stanford? Good job of the punter selling that.
Tristan Sinclair runs for 6, and Stanford with the gadget play. The fake punt results in a first down, but nothing there for Cedric Irvin. Coming off the edge. Nice play by the Cal Poly defense, and Jake East, the nickelback for the Mustang.
He's doing a great job running down the run on the backside. You got to be careful there. Sometimes you don't want to overcommit, because then the can hold it and run that option, but when you make plays like that, coach is just celebrating with you.
Cody Von Oppen, the defensive coordinator, 5 tackles for loss for his defense so far today. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Daniels. Ashton Daniels, and his receiver got bumped off his route, and a flag comes in late, trying to get it to Ellen Iomanner.
Yeah, I thought it was going to try to hit CC on the sideline, but DB had it covered, running with him on his hip, went underneath. You got to play the ball, not just the man there.
That should result in a Stanford first down for pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 32. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Mason Rivera called for the PI.
Yeah, you see Daniels looking downfield, and he gets to his second read early there. Just a bit early, maybe incidental. He's trying to run through the player to get to the football, but he got man first.
Second penalty against Cal Poly. Moves the football into Mustangs territory. We mentioned Cody Von Oppen, by the way, the defensive coordinator for Cal Poly. He's got significant family ties to Stanford. His dad is a coaching legend, Fred Van Oppen, who was a head coach at the University of Hawaii for a little bit. 4 times he was a Stanford assistant, 4 different occasions, 2 times under Bill Walsh here on the farm.
It's bragging rights right here. I got to win it for coach.
Ashton Daniels from the Cal Poly 39. Mustangs showing blitz. It's picked up. Daniels finds an open LCC, and he's out of the 25, a gain of 24 yards. And CC open down the hash mark right there.
CC release right there, finding the soft spot in the zone, and Daniels just being on time right there. Protecting his quarterback so he can make those throws is showing up.
On first down, they run it with Cedric. Picks up a cup. Tripped up by Sony, the junior from Elk Grove up near Sacramento. His dad, Fred, a couple of Super Bowl rings with the 49ers. Eighth play of the for the Cardinal, kept alive by the fake punt. Daniels. And they blow it dead. This will back up Stanford.
Man, these hurt, because now your offensive coordinator is saying, I can't trust these guys to go on 2.
Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Simeon for that start.
Yep. Contributing to this false start project so far on this offensive line.
Cool, opportunistic on the offensive line.
There you go.
Third penalty against Stanford. So it backs him up right near the 3rd. Tied at 7. Ashton Daniels down to Moody Rubin. And the play getting Cal Poly a touchdown as Michael Briscoe, the receiver, throws to Jake Woods for their score. And they'll run it, a tackle, and the cut by Cedric Irvin, who's rustled down by Mason Rivera. That'll force Third down and about 9 for Stanford.
I actually like that play on second. You're not going to get too much out of it, but you're just trying to set up a third and manageable. This might be 4-down territory for them, too, if they want to be aggressive.
Inside 6 minutes to go, first half. Split back, Cedric Irvin, Micah Ford.
Here we go, Kai, here we go.
Routes the tight end in the slot to the right. This is down the line. Micah Ford. Breaking tackles. Ford. First. Stanford, what a second effort. Micah Ford, the freshman.
Really like that right there. You motion Ford out to the flat. And you tell him, look, all you got to do is make one guy miss. You got you blocked on the outside, blocked on the inside. Can you make a miss? Yes, yes, coach. Put that hand down just like the drills we do every single day at practice. You make a play for your quarterback.
17 yards to the freshman from Tom River, New Jersey. Last year's Gatorade High School Player of the Year for New Jersey. I know he's a freshman, but he doesn't look like one physically.
He does not.
First and goal. Ashton Daniels keeps, and Daniels lowers the shoulder. Daniels inside the 5. Jacob Jones, the tackle, as Daniels fights his way down to the 3.
What I love about the way they're using Daniels is last week he fumbled the football. And that's not deterring Taylor from getting the football, especially inside the 10, and letting him use his athletic ability. They seem to put Lamson in here pretty soon, the more physical run. But either way, you got options with these quarterbacks.
So Lamson back in a quarterback, the 11th in this drive. Again, kept alive by the punt, and Stanford's controlled the football for over 6 minutes on this drive. Cedric Irvin, the running back, with Justin Lamson. And he's hauled down behind. Ethan Rodriguez grabbed a hold of Justin Lamson and didn't let go.
We've seen a lot of this today. That defensive line, who Taylor pointed out is the best part of their team, is causing havoc back there. This is where it gets real physical. You know they want to run the football. Can that D-line bow up and make a stop just like...
Third and goal at the 5. Before the running back with Lamson. Lamson sweeping right, and he's chopped down. Mason Rivera, the safety, coming up. And Cal Poly is ready for Justin Lamson every time he takes.
Yeah, they're going. They know when they see 8 in there, they're probably going to run the football. Get a hat to the football. One comes in and chops him down. The other one cleans it up. That's team ball down there inside the 5.
Fourth and goal from the 4. Now, Steve made some curious fourth down decisions last week.
Yes,
do you like going for this?
Oh, I love it. I love it down here. Let's be physical. See what they do.
Stanford relies heavily on the analytics. That's what's holding the go for it at fourth down last week. And Troy runs out to the numbers to get the
First charge
timeout.
timeout, Stanford.
So time before fourth and goal. Troy Taylor and the Cardinal looking to reclaim the lead. Here's your game recap so far. We're tied at 7. Inside 4 minutes to go in the first half. An early fumble for Stanford. It was stripped from Micah Ford, but Stanford and Aristotle Taylor blocking the field goal try. And then Stanford marches down. Ashton Daniels, the touchdown pass to Moody Rubin. But an answer from Cal Poly, some trickery. Michael Briscoe, receiver, and the diving grab by Jake Wood. The extra point tied the game. And now Stanford facing a 4th goal at the Cal Poly 4, trying to reclaim the lead.
Adversity is a word you hear all the time in football. Responding is what you hear too. Both teams have done it so far.
Elikayo man motions to the left. Empty backfield for Ashton Daniels. And at 4th and goal, Daniels surveys. Daniels keeps it alive. Launches, tip, and it is incomplete. They were out of bounds off the deflection. And a turnover on downs.
First down, Cal Poly.
And it goes over to the Mustangs, who hold and will take over at their own 4.
Looking for help.
Coverage.
Nothing there. Got to make a play. Cal Poly does. Twinkle toes. No.
So here's the Stanford 4 drives, and that last one went almost 8.5 minutes before a turnover on downs and a 4th and goal. Stanford going for it at the Cal Poly 4.
Yeah, Stanford's done just about everything. Fumble, punt, touchdown, turnover on downs. Now it's time for their defense to step up. And if you hold them here, you're going to have good field position and maybe another chance to put some points on the board before the half.
3:46 to go until halftime. Stanford has 2 timeouts. Cal Poly has all 3. Bo Kelly, shotgun snap from his end zone, and tries the screen. It's set up beautifully. Michael Briscoe out near the 20.
Safe play when you're backed up to try to get some yards there. Something that keeps jumping on the screen, the poor tackling from Stanford. We talked to their DC earlier this week, and he says, look, we need better angles. That's a poor angle right there, but better run after the catch by Cal Poly.
And a great kick-out block by the receiver bump.
Hey, we got to be able to get dirty sometimes on the outside, baby.
Bo Kelly, 9 of 11, 94 yards. And Ramos, the running back. And Ramos hit the backfield and dropped Mitch Lieber. The safety coming up. And Lieber, who started last week at the nickel, and Mitch Lieber knifing through with a brilliant play.
We call that a film study play. He saw that on film. They're in the situation. It feels familiar. Now you just play football. You go make a play. I love it.
And keep in mind, Mitch Lieber 2 years ago, the final 4 games of the year, Stanford was so decimated at running back. He switched from safety to running back. He started at running back those last 4 games, including the big game. Dump off and a short pickup. Michael Otterstedt, the tight end, with the catch. And Colin Wright quickly makes the tackle.
Big 3rd down right here. You got the 2-minute that's going to work for you. If you can get a stop, get the football, get some points, maybe you don't feel as bad about not converting on 4th down for a touchdown.
3rd and 6 for the Mustangs. Cal Poly's campus about 200 miles south of Stanford. And we'll reach the 2-minute timeout. And a crucial 3rd and 6 for Cal Poly, hanging with Stanford late in the first half. Here's your notable rule changes for this year, and we just hit the 2-minute timeout, not to be confused with a 2-minute warning. Nothing to be scared of. It's a timeout. It's not a warning. In the in-helmet communication, now keep in mind, Stanford has it today. Cal Poly, being an FCS team, does not. So Stanford has a little bit of a competitive advantage there. And the tablets, now Stanford is providing tablets for Cal Poly to use on their sideline. 3rd and 6 for Bo Kelly. They try the option in the pitch. Aiden Ramos, and he's brought down a couple of yards shy of the 1st down. Tristan Sinclair, who's got the dot as far as the communication helmet with the sideline, was the one who made the hit and the tackle.
Second charge timeout, Stanford. It will be 30 seconds.
So a timeout, Stanford. They have 1 remaining with 1:49 left in the half, and unless Cal Poly utilizes a fake punt like Stanford did, Stanford will get the ball back with a chance to score before halftime.
Yeah, and if they are to get the football and right their wrongs, again, you run through the tunnel and you feel a lot better at halftime. But this is a game. We don't know what's going to happen. We've seen a fake punt already. We've seen a blocked field goal. This game has given you everything so far. Very entertaining, but the safe thing and the right thing to do in this situation for Cal Poly is put it on the foot, let your defense play defense.
We've seen a double pass. We're giving you everything that a 7-7 game could give you. Ryan Collins will punt, and an end over end. Tiger Bachmeyer, and a fair catch is made. There is a penalty marker down back near the line of scrimmage. And we'll check the penalty, and it appears it's against Cal Poly.
Illegal formation, kicking team. More than 4 players aligned on the backfield of the snap. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the kick. 1st down.
So Stanford will take the 5 yards added to where Bachmeyer made the fair catch, as opposed to making them re-kick. So with 1:42 and a timeout, Stanford has the ball in this 7-7 game.
So now you get into your 2-minute drill. All the things you preach during training camp and at practice. Get out of bounds. First down, stop the clock. You got to give these reminders. This is when that green dot comes in handy. Because now you got your offensive coordinator communicating with your quarterback and giving him those reminders.
The illegal formation will be enforced from the previous spot. Replay fourth down.
So Stanford decides now, instead of adding the 5 to where they caught the punt, they're going to push Cal Poly back 5 yards and make him kick it again.
And when you do that, you give your returner another opportunity. Maybe you break one and gain 10 or 15 yards, make it that much easier for your offense to put points on the board.
We talked about all the returning production that Stanford has, and how much does that help in a situation like this? We're early in the season, but these guys are so familiar with one another. Now the offensive line, they move pieces around.
Right.
But as far as the production goes and the skill guys go, about 90% of their production from last year's back.
It's a beautiful thing. I'll take it back to 2007, my last Apple Cup. We had a 2-minute drill to win the game, and the communication was beautiful. Quarterback was on point. Receivers knew what to do. Running backs were there. So some of that should show up right here in this 2-minute drill.
So Ryan Collins will kick it away again. A little bit of a rollout punt and a low ball that skips away from Tiger Bachmeyer. Fields it on the ground ball, and then he's dropped immediately. Outstanding coverage by Cal Poly, and Jeremy Justice sprinting downfield.
Got to get that awareness up. Doesn't see him coming. Boom! Light you up. I've been a returner. It might have happened to me once or twice. That ain't fun, Roxy.
But if it's on the ground, you let it go, right?
You got to pick it up.
Okay. So the numbers for Ashton Daniels so far today, and the Stanford junior quarterback, trying to get some points here before halftime. Both his parents were standout athletes at Georgia. Last year started 10 of the 12 games for the Cardinal. And by accepting the penalty, Stanford lost 3.
Yes, they did.
Here is Daniels, the screen set up. Micah Ford cuts it inside, and Ford pushes out near the 35. And the clock is rolling, 1:20 left in the half.
Love that call on first down. See if you can pop one.
Now the Cardinal go empty. Daniels near the sideline, and it's Micah Ford run out of bounds, and a first down for the Cardinal. Outstops the clock with 65 seconds left in the half.
Daniels doing a great job working his eyes from right to left. Had an option in the middle, didn't really like that. Works his way to the sideline. The safer throw gets you out of bounds, saves a timeout.
And just one timeout in the pocket of Troy Taylor in Stanford. Daniels 10 for 12 now, 131 yards. Elikayo Manor split out to the left. Ismail Cece motion. Here is Cece on the down the line screen. And Cece fighting his way out near midfield. A yard shy of the first down. And Stanford needs to go quick.
Yeah, Stanford keep things rolling. I like the screens, right? We've seen a couple of them already. It's all about the yards after the catch. Let your playmakers do the work for you before you take a shot.
45 seconds until halftime. Ashton Daniels, Elikayo Manor the catch. Manor dances to the outside. He's still going inside the 30.
There he is, 13 coming up big. And you know what? I would have went out of bounds right there. He's a little more gifted than I was. He goes, I'm going to get some more of that. Hits the brakes, comes back to the ball, gets north-south right now, makes a move, works his way towards the sideline. Big body making plays there.
They'll spot it down to the 23. 27 from Daniels to Manor. Daniels under pressure, flushed out, launches down the sideline, it's caught, first and goal. Sam Roush the catch for the Cardinal.
Good patience right there. He had 13 underneath. Said, now I'm going to wait for my big boy to work all the way across the field. Puts it in a safe space. Go and make a play for your quarterback.
And now the goal line package and Justin Lamson come in. And Cal Poly will take a timeout with 25 seconds left in the half. And how about the elusiveness bump of Daniels to keep that alive and finding Sam Roush, an athletic play by the tight end.
At first I'm thinking he's being greedy, but he goes, no, man, I see my tight end making a play, going up, making a play for him, man, coming down with it. It's just a soft touch right there, right? And you put it up. You got a smaller defensive back going up against your big tight end. You know that he can jump up and get the rock. I like it. Daniels looking smooth so far.
Stanford, as we talked about, the intellectual brutality, also known for their tight ends over the years.
They are. Yes, they are.
Including Benjamin Urasik, a grad transfer to Georgia with 1 year left of eligibility.
Tight end you, huh?
All those guys in the NFL. Daniels 5 for 5 on this drive. Stanford still with a timeout. 25 seconds left in the half. And 3 tight ends. Rouse joined by Shield Taylor and Benji Blackburn. For Justin Lamson. Ismail Cece, circular motion. Lamson into the end zone. Touchdown, Stanford.
There you go. When 8 is in the game, you heard Popsy get physical, and they don't give up on it. They were stuffed several times down there the last time they had the football. All is well now. Give Lamson the ball, get that motion, make the defense move to the left or the right, and now you just lower your pads, get in the end zone, young fella. I see you.
Second rushing score for Lamson this season. He had 5 a year ago. As the Cardinal quickly, 61 seconds to go 73 yards. And the Lamson touchdown run. And Stanford goes back on top with 21 seconds left in the half. Now Emmett Kenny for the extra point. Kenny nails this one. And it's a 14-7 lead for Stanford, and the Cardinal behind. Brilliantly led drive by Ashton Daniels and finished off by Justin Lamson.
Daniels last week struggled. He completed less than 50% of his passes. He needed to take a step forward this week, and so far, that's what we're seeing. We're looking at this touchdown again, 55 pulling for you, leading the charge. You don't need him. When you're Lamson, when you do those hang cleans and those squats in the summertime and during the week, you are good to go. Give it to the young kid.
He's making friends.
Lamson love the kids. He love the kids.
He's never, ever going to forget getting that football.
Oh, no. Not at all, man. That's what's so great about college football, too, man. These kids look up to these young men, and when you can interact like that with them, like you mentioned, he'll never forget that moment.
Now Emmett Kenny will kick off. Evan Burkhardt back to return for Cal Poly. Keep in mind the Mustangs will receive the second half kickoff. They won the toss and deferred. Let's see. It's returnable for Burkhardt. He'll bring it up from the 3. Burkhardt, and he's upended right near the 20. And we'll see how Paul Wolf and his offensive coordinator Tim Rosenbach handle the final 16 seconds of this opening half.
When you got 2 timeouts left in your Cal Poly, I think maybe you take 1 or 2 shots. If you don't get anything on first or second down, you're not going to force the issue. You get the football at halftime. Just take it in and let's adjust.
I know you're trailing if you're the Mustangs, but it's a 1-score game at halftime against Stanford. You have to be feeling pretty good about your situation.
Oh, yeah. You're feeling good right now as they take a knee. Look, let's be safe. We got the ball. Everything that Stanford has done, they have been able to respond in some way. So keep that momentum, keep the good vibes.
14-7. Stanford with the lead over Cal Poly. The late touchdown run by Justin Lamson, putting the Cardinal on top at the half. Coming up, halftime festivities, but the Stanford Cardinals still in search of that first home win under Troy Taylor. Leading Cal Poly 14-7. Stanford leading Cal Poly at the half. In the Bay Area, we're on the farm. And the Cardinal will begin ACC play in a couple of weeks. Speaking of the ACC, next Saturday, the ACC Network College Football Lineup starts with NC State and Louisiana Tech at noon Eastern, 3:30 Eastern, the Canes and Cam Ward take on Ball State. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, Maryland and Virginia. 3 games next Saturday on the ACC Network. Justin Lamson, a late first half touchdown, and the Cardinal up a score at the half. Getting ready for the start of the second half on the farm. Stanford Stadium, ACC football with the Cardinal leading Cal Poly 14-7, and Stanford took the early lead in this one. Ashton Daniels, the good and the early Stanford touchdown. Then Cal Poly using a double pass, some trickery, and the Mustangs drawing even. And Jake Woods, the diving grab in the back of the end zone to tie the game for Cal Poly. And then right before halftime, Stanford and Justin Lamson powers his way into the end zone, hands the ball to a fan. 14-7, Stanford with the lead over Cal Poly, along with Michael Bumpus and Sherry Burris. Roxy Burnson with you. And a fun first half.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of everything, right? You can run the football, you take your shots down the field. Got a 4th and goal stop right there. It's an intense game. I love the way the teams are going back and forth. Who's going to win first?
And Stanford still looking for their first home win under Troy Taylor as we go down to the field into Sherry.
Well, Roxy, just talking to Cal Poly's coach, Colt Fulf, I said, if you were down just one, I told you that at the half against Stanford, how'd you feel? He says, I feel good, but you know, as a coach, we just always look at those missed opportunities. So as we get going here in the second half, he told me he wants them to keep playing well as they have, but there have been a couple breakdowns in the secondary. Wants to get a few more things going on offense. It was a similar message from Coach Taylor saying in the first half, it wasn't perfect, but he liked what the defense was doing in their physicality. As for the Cardinal offense, he wants to see more consistency, particularly talking about getting that run game going. Roxy only had 42 yards on the ground in that first half.
Yeah, and that's something that Stanford really wants to establish, is that running game, and not just from the quarterback and Daniel.
Yeah, they want to run the rock. They want to use the quarterback. They want to use Lamson, but they also want to get their running backs involved. The more versatile you can be with that run game, the more this defense has to account for. So let's sprinkle everybody in the second half.
And Stanford will kick it off as Cal Poly and Paul Wolf won the coin toss and deferred to the second half. And keep in mind, last week against TCU, Stanford led by a touchdown at the half. They had a lead in the fourth quarter that game before TCU came back and won it.
No lead is safe in college football unless you're up 30, and even then, it might not be safe, man. These guys are explosive out here, especially when you're causing turnovers and getting stops and putting the ball on the foot. You always have an opportunity.
Well, he pointed out Stanford was down 29 at the half in Boulder last year.
That is right.
Wasn't 30, 29.
Yeah,
and came back
30.
and won. Emmett Kenny will squib this one. It bounces and it's picked up by one of the upbacks for Cal Poly. And that is Aiden Ramos, who brings it back out across the 25 as we take a look at the first half numbers. And Stanford, significant edge in time of possession. And the rushing yards, and keep in mind, Cal Poly only had 8 yards on the ground last week.
Man, if Cal Poly can just break 1 or 2 runs, you're going to loosen this defense up a bit. Right now, they're sitting back and they're saying, look, they're going to throw the football. That's all they have right now. If I'm Poly, I'm coming out early and trying to establish a run game.
From the Mustangs 27, Bo Kelly, 10 of 12 in the first half, 99 yards passing. And they'll run it and hit behind the line, and a loss. Aiden Ramos is smothered. David Bailey off the edge.
Hey, that's just boom, dip my shoulder. That's textbook right there. They're going to show that to the youth teams around here in the area. This is how you take on a lineman, keep your eyes down the backfield, shoulders square, then go after the running back.
Bailey, who led the Stanford defense in sacks and tackles for loss last year, is now a 3-year starter for the Stanford program. Loss of 3. Bo Kelly on the bootleg, under pressure, out toward the sideline, and Giancarlo Woods. And a first down for Cal Poly.
Man, that is such a tough throw, rolling to the right. You got a defender in your face. I thought he might try to go underneath to the flat, but he stands in there and takes one for the team. Nice rollout, knows he's going to get hit. Flick of the wrist, put in a safe spot, hands catch.
And Woods had some space to make that play. From the 39. Play action for Bo Kelly. Over the middle and through the hands of Giancarlo Woods. Right at the Stanford logo.
Unfortunate right there, right behind Woods. Right, he had to open up his shoulder just a little bit, but he expects to come down with that ball. He can make that play for sure. Going across the field, nothing but space and opportunity. A little behind you. You got to roll with that. Open up that right shoulder. Just roll with it. Make the play. He's going to want that one back.
Yeah, that's a catch he's got to make.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. And I get it, Cal Poly, they're having trouble running, but you just can't completely abandon the run.
No, you got to continue to show it.
And they'll run it. And there's nothing there for Aiden Ramos. Stanford front, led by Tristan Sinclair.
Just nothing really up the A and the B right now. If I'm Cal Poly, I want to try to attack the edge just a little bit more and then go back to the inside zone, inside gap runs. Maybe that will expand the defense just a little bit. But either way you slice it, this defensive line and defensive box for Stanford is very stout.
3rd and 9. Jaden Matthews is in the backfield, the running back for the Mustangs. The true freshman from Scottsdale. Stanford brings pressure off the edge, and the dump off is complete. And well shy of a first down. As Bo Kelly, the completion to Logan Boer.
Yeah, that was the right decision. You get pressure off the edge. Stanford brought 6 on that play right there. The slot was open right now. You would like to see that adjustment, a now throw. You see the backer go, there's space and opportunity above you. The safety is about 10 to 12 yards deep. Just give it to him now, but right decision, just not enough.
Mustangs will punt it to Stanford here early in the 3rd quarter as Tiger Bachmeier standing inside the Cardinal 10 to return this from Ryan Collins. And Collins, Bachmeier makes a move. Bachmeier looking for a lane. To the outside, Tiger Bachmeier. Down the sideline. Bachmeier's gone. Touchdown Stanford. 90-yard punt return.
Nothing gets me going like a punt return. You make one guy miss, now you knife upfield. As soon as you pass that second wave, now you got to get outside. Let your boys escort you to the end zone. 6, good job turning around. Hands up, just get in front of them, block them. No more blindside blocking for us in this game anymore, man. I love the play. That's how you win close ball games. You get those hidden points, you got some there.
First punt return for a touchdown by Stanford since the Rose Bowl in 2016. Christian McCaffrey.
Surprising. Surprising.
Extra point by Emmett Kenny, but Tiger Bachmeier house call.
Hey, coach is yelling, who's going to make a play? 2-4, Tiger says, don't worry. I got you, boys. Get me to the end zone. Let's change the game. 2-4, I see you, kid.
Yards tied for the 2nd longest punt return in Stanford history. Tiger Bachmeier, the first return for a score since the Rose Bowl 2016 and CMC.
Man, there's nothing like a special teams return to the house. You got Cal Poly who comes out, doesn't ignore the run, tries to establish it. You get nothing there, you put it on the foot, and automatic points on the board that can change the game.
Plus, they also, on special teams, blocked a field goal today.
Yeah, special teams, let's go.
21-7, the Cardinal lead. And the return is muffed and then hit at the 10 and shoved out of bounds. Evan Burkhart, and Cal Poly is pinned back by the Cardinal.
Oh, I love it here, man. You just got to make the first guy miss. I don't have one for 90. I got one for 87, so he's got me there. But Tiger, man, look at that hair flowing in the wind. Look at that stride.
He's also got you there, too.
He's got me there as well by a lot. Around that 40, he knew it was a wrap, man. That's exciting. I'm happy for that young man.
2-touchdown lead for Stanford, and this is a pivotal drive for Bo Kelly and Cal Poly.
Yes, it is.
Jaden Matthews in a running back. Bobby April, Stanford's defensive coordinator. See what they dial up here. Bo Kelly over the middle, and the catch, Michael Briscoe. And that's a first down out across the 20-yard line for the Mustangs.
Those have been their most successful pass plays this game. Slants, bangs, going across the middle.
That is the director of the defense, Bobby April. Troy Taylor just says, all right, that side of the field is yours. You got it.
Gotta have trust. He has it there.
He's trying to get his defense to fly around and make plays. They hand it off to Jaden Matthews, who picks his way out across the 25.
Nothing crazy there. Positive run. Zone right. Get north-south.
Cal Poly Mustangs, who have not won an FBS game since 2012 when they won in Laramie against Wyoming. Program that's got a proud history. They won a Division II national championship back in 1980. Transitioned to the 1AA level, which has become the FCS level, in 1994. On second down, they'll run it with Jaden Matthews, and he is stepped up by the Stanford defense. They've been in the Big Sky now since 2012. And Cal Poly, we talked to Paul Wolf about it earlier this week. They have a brand new football facility, the John Madden football facility, that is going to give them every single part of football that they need. Locker rooms, weight rooms, coach's office, meeting rooms, all the amenities that they could want. And they'll have those facilities to be able to compete high at the FCS level. Bo Kelly, and it through the hands, incomplete. Trying to get that to Michael Briscoe, who threw a touchdown in the first half.
Once again, a drop going across the middle. Good release. You do everything right. Break down. Got the DB to turn his hips, but you must finish the play. 2 drives, 2 drops. They're kicking themselves for that.
Cal Poly will have to punt it away. And yes, if you're wondering, John Madden did play at Cal Poly in the late 50s. He was a defensive tackle there for Cal Poly. And by the way, his teammate, former GM in the NFL, Bobby Beathard, was the quarterback when John Madden played on the defensive front for the Mustangs.
Lots of tradition at Cal Poly.
So Bachmeyer back to return the punt. And it's a low wobbler that takes a Cal Poly bounce. Bachmeyer tries to go again, and he's brought down at the 40. Stanford up 2 touchdowns early in the third with the football.
Let's talk about this quarterback, Ashton Daniels, having himself a day. 13 of 15, got to stand in the pocket when you're getting blitzed. Get it to your playmaker. He does exactly that. Now, his feet, don't forget about his run game. Follow your boys to the promised land. He does that too. Also, take your shots down the field when coach calls the right play. Finish in the red zone. He's done just about everything. Boom. Celebrate with your boys. 14, getting it done today. Great job.
Efficient, 13 of 15. For Daniels, 188 yards and that touchdown pass to Moody of Rubin. From the Cardinal 40. Michael Ford, the running back, as Ismail CC motions. And Ford up the middle, through the hole, gets a fouled 4.
Stanford doing a great job of pre-snap movement, right? We saw a lot of motioning the running back and their wide receivers to expand them. It helps the quarterback identify man or zone, especially when you got a good RPO game going.
Stanford will have a bye week next week. In 2 weeks on the Friday night, they'll travel all the way to Syracuse for their first ACC conference game against the Orange. Deep shot from Daniels, looking for Io Manor, and he overshoots the target. There is a flag down. My only question, Bump, was this catchable?
Yeah, DB's beat right there. He goes, look, I don't want to give up the touchdown. Might have been overthrown just a little bit. And Daniels has some options. You have the running back running down the sideline as well.
After further discussion, there is no foul in the play. 3rd down.
Uncatchable football, I think, is what they're kind of leaning on.
So they wipe off the pass interference. Look, I don't think he would have gotten it, but I can't say that definitively.
Exactly. I think that's the case.
Io Manor had a chance.
We've seen him make some catches now.
I think he had a slight chance to get to it.
Yeah, it wasn't 100% uncatchable. Hey, but the ref is right even when he's wrong.
Troy Taylor thinks he's wrong. And he's letting him know, and he wants a timeout now.
First charge timeout, Stanford.
Here's one
It'll
more
be 30
look at
seconds.
it. And look where the contact is that impeded Alec Iomanner.
I mean, he's still in mid-stride. He could have laid out for that one.
I think there was a chance to catch that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he could have laid out for that. If he doesn't have someone all over his shoulders, he probably is laying out for that, and at least attempting to make a play. Uncatchable ball. As a receiver, I'm not even trying to make a play on that because I don't think I can get there.
Look, I don't think there was a high percentage chance of catch probability, but I'm not going to say there was zero chance of him catching it.
Agreed, 100%.
All right, the schedule coming up. We alluded to the Syracuse game in a couple of weeks. And Stanford, their first ACC game. And these are the road trips that the Cardinal have. They're going to come home and then go to Clemson. Vatech comes here October 5th. Then you go to South Bend, SMU, Wake, at NC State, Louisville, the big game against Cal, and then they finish it up with San Jose State. 3rd and 7 for Ashton Daniels. Escapes, has some room to run. Daniels, a lot of real estate. And he steps out near the 40.
Those are the type of plays you have no control over. Defensive line does a great job of collapsing the pocket. Daniels misses Tiger in the middle of the field, but it's all right. I'm going to buy myself some time. Thought he might launch one down the field, but let's go with the high percentage play. Run, now get out of bounds, continue to play.
17-yard run for Ashton Daniels. At the Cal Poly 40-yard line. Split backs with Daniels. And they fake it to Chris Davis Jr. Daniels keeps, and he gets a couple before he's knocked backward.
I like what Cal Poly's doing right now. They are blitzing. They're going to get after it. You're going to go look. If you want to pull and put your quarterback at risk, we're going to send guys downhill and try to light them up. So if I am Stanford, I'm a bit concerned about the hits that my guy is taking, but I'm communicating with him, making sure he's fine and ready to go. But if you continue to run him like that, Cal Poly continues to blitz like that, you're going to get some one-on-one matchups on the outside with 13.
That's not a good combination to have one-on-one matchups with Alec Iomanner. Cedric Irvin, the running back, on 2nd down. Pressure coming to the outside. Ismail Cece to the sideline. Tripped up, 1st down at the 20.
Nice little quick game. You got a slant by the outside receiver, flat route by the inside receiver. A little bit of a pick play right there, but they're not calling it. Easy read. Eyes are inside out. Who comes open first? You're going to read that corner. He will make the decision for you. Ashton does a great job reading it there.
19 more. It's Daniels over 200 yards passing for the day now. Stanford 2 for 3 in their trips into the red zone. Looking to add to their lead. Again, pressure for the Mustangs. And a dump off and stumbling and a loss. Micah Ford lost his footing out in the flat.
Again, more pressure by Cal Poly. Continue to send them. You need a big play to happen for you. An interception, a fumble. Stanford is driving right now. If they score another touchdown, the momentum starts to shift a little bit. The demeanor changes for Cal Poly. You got to stay in this.
Bump, if they're going to keep bringing pressure like this, you take a shot over the top?
I'm taking a shot over the top, or I'm telling my slot defender, look, just look. You see 2 guys off the edge right now. Easy adjustment. Ask for the ball. I'll give it to you.
Loss of 4. And that play, well defended by Cal Poly. They were looking for the tunnel screen to Ismail Cece, and Cal Poly was right there in the passing lane.
Yeah, great job by Cal Poly recognizing the screen. And when you have a clear path to the quarterback, it's always too good to be true. So don't just go diving in there. Be disciplined, keep your hands up, and get in those throwing lanes.
3rd and 14 for Stanford. Alec Iomanner split out to the right. Micah Ford, the running back. Let's see if Cal Poly brings pressure again. Penalty marker is down for the end zone, looking for Cece. And it's broken up. Penalty marker is down. Brian Dukes Jr. knocked it away from Ismail Cece. But the penalty back at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Defense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So free play for Stanford. And it'll move them up 5 yards.
Great job by the safety coming over to help break the pass up. Unfortunately, you still get 3rd down and 5 yards tacked on.
Sony Finau was the guilty party for being offside. It's now 3rd and 9. Daniels fakes the inside give. Ismail Cisse toward the sideline. Dancing inside the 15. And the open field tackle by Brian Dukes Jr. and it's 4th down.
Dukes Jr. doing a great job running with the receiver that went up the field, waited for his safety to help him out, got his eyes back in the backfield, rallied to the football, open field tackle.
Field goal unit trotting on for Troy Taylor and Stanford. This will be Emmett Kenny, who was 2 for 2 on his field goals last week, his long being a 45-yarder. This will be 32 from the hash on the right side. Again, taking over for the All-American Joshua Carty. This was a highly coveted recruiter out of North Dakota. As Kenny, and he converts. Emmett Kenny, the field goal, and a 17-point lead for the Stanford Cardinal inside 5.5 to go on a beautiful Saturday on the farm. Stanford was up a touchdown at the half. They're now up 24-7. 5:26 to go in the 3rd quarter with Michael Bumpus and Sherry Burris. Roxy Bernstein with you from Stanford Stadium here on ACC Network. Evan Burkhardt getting set to return the kickoff after the field goal from Emmett Kenny. The Cardinal have not won here at Stanford Stadium since October of 2022. Trying to end that drought, get Troy Taylor his first home win as the Cardinal head coach. And Kenny's kickoff hits at the goal line, skips into the end zone. And a Cal Poly football, and unless you've been hiding under a rock somewhere, you're well aware of the 12-team playoff now in college football. And the key things to know: the 4 highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4, receiving first round bye. There will be home games in the first round. Seeds 5 through 8 will get those home games at campus stadiums. The 7 at-large teams determined by the remaining highest ranked teams into the field of 12. So the college football playoff triples in 1 year. The screen, nothing there. Swallowed up by Stanford. Aiden Ramos gobbled up by Zach Bucky.
That Stanford defensive line getting into the backfield, hands up, making Cal Poly have to drop a teardrop over the top. Spends a little too much time in the air, allows the Cardinal to rally to the football.
Loss of 1 for Bobby April's defense. Another tackle for loss. 2nd and 11 for Bo Kelly. Makes the inside give. And he throws an interception. And it's being brought back by Colin Wright. He lost the football and Stanford, though, got it again. Colin Wright, the interception. He had 1 pick last year. Last year, honorable mention, all Pac-12 defensive freshman of the year and his 2nd career pick.
Looks like a miscommunication right there. Good coverage. Take that inside release. It seems like QB was waiting on that out to come open, but when you see that corner drop into that coverage with his eyes in the backfield on you, you just got to eat that. To compound that, he threw it off his back foot.
And now Stanford with the ball just outside the 20. And the pick 6 really burned Cal Poly and Bo Kelly last week in San Diego. That wasn't a pick 6, but that was certainly an interception at an inopportune time.
That was such an important drive for Cal Poly. They needed to put points on the board to kind of stop what's going on here with Stanford. Now you put your defense in a tough situation. You're going to need a turnover or this game's going to get out of hand.
Chris Davis Jr. in the slot for Ashton Daniels. Now Davis motions, and they give it. Davis to the edge. And he's run out of bounds, and a first down at the 10 by Brian Dukes Jr., but moved the chains for the Cardinal.
That one play, Roxy, you can kind of feel the energy kind of drop on the field right now. You pull your guard, you lead with a running back, your receiver gets a good block on the outside. I mean, that's as easy as it gets for a first down pickup.
Gain of 10. On the run for Chris Davis Jr., the freshman from Mississippi, the 4-star prospect ranked by ESPN. Pressure coming. Ashton Daniels hit behind the line, stumbles out of a tackle, and not letting go. Holding on for dear life was Judea Moon, the senior linebacker, who led Cal Poly 11 tackles in San Diego last Saturday, and he just wouldn't let go.
Man, this defense has not played horribly, especially that defensive line. Look at them holding on. You ain't going anywhere. Somebody help. Now the boys come down and corral Daniels. Again, we mentioned it earlier. All these hits that Daniels is getting, you got to be careful with that.
Ashton Daniels may need a new undershirt. On second down, the screen, Ismail Cece. Get to the outside, off the block from Tiger Bachmeyer. And he is held up shy of the 5 and then got thrown down late. To Mel Turner among many Mustangs out there on the tackle.
If you're down in this situation, it's 24-7. High percentage plays from Stanford in here. Run the football, do your screens, which you've done great at. Also, your mesh concepts. The last time you were down here, in the first quarter, you ran a nice little mesh concept. You got your guy open. Just keep it nice and simple and clear for Daniels to kind of sort things out.
I think Daniels' undershirt went from a large to a triple XL. Sweeping right, and the shovel pass. And Daniels feeding into Sam Roush. And a short pickup. Second catch today for Roush. By the way, his great uncle, Berlin Olsen,
really?
of Hall of Fame.
Roxy, you hitting us with a whole bunch of history today, man. You're in your bag right now.
Sometimes you got to empty the bucket. Fourth down at Stanford, leaving the offense out there. 4th and 4 at the Cal Poly 5. Empty backfield for Ashton Daniels. Daniels over the middle. It's Roush into the end zone. Touchdown Stanford. First career score for Sam Roush.
Easy read right here for Daniels. He sees that one-on-one matchup. My big guy just has to turn his back, post him up, catch the rock, and finish. Daniels knows how important that catch is. Now you're up 30, potentially 31. Cal Poly has to respond.
Second TD strike for Daniels today, set up by the Colin Wright interception. Emmett Kenny, the point after. 31-7 Cardinal, who've taken control here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they have. That second half, it all started with that punt return for a touchdown. That changes the identity of a football game, and it makes the other team on the sideline start questioning themselves a little bit. And then you compound that with drives that end up with points, end up with touchdowns. It's getting out of hand right now. Cal Poly has to put points on the board this drive. If not, we can see 40-plus points on the board.
28 straight. Or correction, 24 straight points for Stanford from when it was 7-7. And a 31-7 lead now for the Cardinal here with just over 2 minutes to go in the third. And Tiger Bachmeyer right there with the flowing locks out the back of the helmet, making us all jealous with that hair.
All jealous. Now, Roxy, you're hiding in that department.
Doing okay. Not that well, but I'm doing okay. Evan Burkhardt's got some flow at the back of his helmet as well. Yeah, there's some impressive lettuce on both sides of the field. But Stanford taking control of what was a tight game. The Justin Lamson touchdown late in the first half, giving them the halftime lead. And then the punt return for a score by Tiger Bachmeyer here in the third quarter. The 90-yard return, the first punt return for a touchdown by a Stanford player since Christian McCaffrey in the 2016 Rose Bowl against Iowa. Evan Burkhart across the 20, got knocked backwards. Good coverage downfield from Stanford and Essa Dubre. And it's been a tale of two halves for both Stanford and Cal Poly.
Yeah, you look at Cal Poly in that first half, they were throwing hands with Stanford. They're saying, look, you're going to make some plays, we're going to make some plays. Second half, this defensive line for Cal Poly does not play bad, but it all goes back to that punt return. 90 yards for a touchdown. That demoralizes a team. Then your quarterback throws an interception. You get the ball around the 30, 25-yard line. Your defense is in a tough position. It's bad breaks for Cal Poly, and Stanford being able to capitalize.
From the Cal Poly 21-yard line, Bo Kelly continues at quarterback. Makes the inside give on the rollout, and the pass juggled, caught, and brought down for no gain. Kendrick Sanders as the pressure in the face of Kelly from Tevaru and Tafiti. And then Tristan Sinclair cleans it up, and that is officially a loss of 1.
What is Cal Poly going to lean on to finish this game? The run hasn't been working for you. The pass game has slowed down for you in the second half. How are you going to move the ball down the football field?
Bobby April, Stanford's defensive coordinator, has his guys flying around now. Pressure up the middle from Sinclair, and the pass hits an offensive lineman as Sinclair leveled Bo Kelly.
Man, as a quarterback, sometimes you got to stand in there and just take one. Does exactly that. Nice safe hit. But it's getting rough out there for him.
Here is Bobby April. Let's see what he has dialed up here on 3rd and 11 for the Mustangs. Four-man rush. Flushed out on the move. Kelly downfield, and it's caught. The first down. Tyrese fairly dialed.
Oh, man, great catch right there. Bo rolling to his right, buying himself some time. That's been the most successful plays he's made. Outside the pocket is giving his receivers a chance.
And now Bo Kelly on the move again. Racing to the sideline, and he's shown the sideline. Omar Staples running him out. Final minute of this 3rd quarter. Paul Wolf played against, coached against Stanford previously. Stays in Pullman. Looking for an upset here for Cal Poly in the first meeting between the Mustangs and the Stanford Cardinals. Nice move and a skip to the outside into Stanford territory. Aiden Ramos, an impressive run.
And that was all created by the flow of this offense. Those plays that are breaking down are moving this defense. You send the jet sweep over there, and now you just got to make a play in the backfield and get upfield. These are the type of plays that build some type of belief in your offense where they need it the most.
The cutback from Ramos. It's Cal Poly trying to get something going. Head into the 4th. The Stanford Cardinal fueled by Tiger Bachmeier's punt return. They lead Cal Poly 31-7 as we head to quarter number 4. We start the 4th on the farm. 31-7 Stanford leading Cal Poly. Your game summary and Tiger Bachmeier's 90-yard punt return for a score. A big day for Ashton Daniels. And again, Stanford looking for that first home win under Troy Taylor, who's beginning year 2.
Oh, how sweet it would be for these guys to celebrate in the locker room with their coach here in Stanford. They got to seal the deal, though. Got to get it done and finish strong.
First down for Cal Poly in Stanford territory to start the 4th. Bo Kelly down the right sideline, and it is incomplete, out of bounds. And the pass intended for Giancarlo Woods.
The coverage has been tight on the back end towards the sidelines. In the middle of the field, you've been more open, but you get one-on-one matchups, you got to take a shot. Barely steps out of bounds, almost gets that toe in. I like the aggressiveness, though.
Zarin Manley in coverage for the Cardinal. Stanford did win 3 games last year, but they were all on the road. At Hawaii, double overtime thriller at Colorado when they won, bump at Washington State. I don't want to say it too loud around here.
I think I called that game, too.
I was standing right next to you.
We called that game.
Ball start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And it's funny because I brought up that game with Bobby April, Stanford's defensive coordinator, yesterday. And he is like, that's the blueprint for what we want on defense, because they were phenomenal against Cam Ward in a high-powered Washington State attack last year, and that's what he's trying to replicate with this defense.
Yeah, I remember it being a real physical game, low-scoring game.
And the screen juggle, Giancarlo Woods lunging for it. And he makes the catch, and a third down and long for the Mustangs.
Yeah, this is just timing off right here. Does a great job getting upfield, but he's got to continue to move. You can't stop right there. That quarterback is trying to lead you upfield so you catch the football with some space and opportunity.
Kelly on third down. Stanford brings 5 to the outside and over the target, Giancarlo Woods. Good coverage by Zarin Manley.
And it was there for him. You got blitz off the right side of the line of scrimmage. He knows exactly where he's going. If you're able to just get your feet in the ground and get back to the sideline, that's a big play. This is where Cal Poly matures, right? You are down 31-7. You have opportunities to make plays. Forget the score. Execute, execute, execute.
And we could see a change in quarterback for Stanford when they get the football back. Jesse Ehrlich, the Aussie, will punt and trying to pin Stanford back. Ehrlich just gets it away. Bachmeier calling for a fair catch. And Tiger Bachmeier makes it at the Stanford 15. And the Cardinal offense coming out up 31-7 early in the fourth. And it is the Stanford debut for the true freshman Elijah Brown, who enrolled at Stanford last January. The highly recruited quarterback out of Mater Dei, where he led Mater Dei to 2 state titles. Last year completed 70% of his passes for nearly 3,000 yards for Mater Dei, 39 touchdowns, was ranked number 231 in the ESPN 300 for recruits entering this year. And this is a highly skilled quarterback that Troy Taylor is really excited about his future. And the first snap of his college career, Elijah Brown to the outside, Mudia Rubin, and he's escorted to the sideline at the 20. Buddha Boyd in coverage, but this is a big-time prospect for Stanford.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the way the ball jumped off his hand right there that he's got it. 44-2 in high school. He's not used to losing. So this young man is going to bring a swagger and a confidence to this team. When it's his turn to take over, this offense is going to open up, and Taylor's going to design some great plays for him.
And he had the advantage of going through the spring last year, rolling in January, which is something that Stanford has made a transition to academically here in the administration on the farm. And there's the screen set up for Ismail Cisse, and he gets maybe 1. But up until the last couple of years, Stanford could not get early enrollees admitted into school. And the administration has worked with the athletic department, football program, and some of the other sports to allow early entry as long as they clearly qualify academically, which Brown did. He was able to get here in January and give him a head start on his college career.
Yeah, this is a great institution. Academics first, but you want to get some ballers in early if you want to compete with everyone else.
Ismail Cisse motions on 3rd and 3. Elijah Brown goes through his reads and finds Mudia Rubin. First down, out across the 30-yard line.
I mean, we're already seeing how different this offense is with him in the field, or on the field, I should say. But he stands tall in the pocket. Look at him scanning the field. 1 to 2 to 3, get the football off.
Stanford now over 300 yards of total offense on the day. And Elijah Brown is connected on each of his first 3 passes. And he's out there. It's not like he's out there with a bunch of the backups. He's out there with the #1 guy, Cedric Irvin, a short pickup.
Yeah, these are great reps for this young man. Obviously, he's confident. He's won a lot of football games in high school, but there's nothing like validation. Being able to go out on the football field, in competition situations and just execute. It's a great feeling for him.
So the highly touted freshman making his debut here in the fourth with Stanford up 31-7. Brown down the sideline, in stride, Cedric Irvin, right out inside the 20-yard line. The touch.
Beautiful touch. Let him run under it. Stanford's done a great job of getting their running backs out the backfield, down the sideline, use the play action to influence the linebackers. Now it's all speed. 2-6 does a great job securing the rock. Beautiful throw. Lets his running back continue to stride it out.
That was a dime.
Yeah, it was.
Right on the money from Brown. 51 yards to Cedric Irvin. And at the Cal Poly 16, an impressive first drive in the debut for Elijah Brown. Cedric Irvin weaving his way through. And Irvin down to the 12.
Now it's late in the game, so Cal Poly's trying to survive at this point, but what we've seen is they've calmed down with the blitz because they're looking at this quarterback and saying we need more guys in coverage if we want to try to keep this game as close as possible. So you see the effect that Brown is having on this defense. You see the effect he's having on this offense. If you are a Cardinal fan, you should be extremely excited about your future.
2nd and 7. Cedric Irvin split out as Stanford goes empty for Elijah Brown. Cal Poly bringing pressure off the edge. Brown open, Ismail Cece, touchdown! A perfect drive for Elijah Brown, and the touchdown for the Stanford Cardinal.
They might have to have a conversation about how much they're going to play this young man this year, but good release by Cece. He makes it happen, he gets open, but you still got to complete the throw. Brown does a great job leading his team down the field. You see his teammates are happy for him. They understand this is a freshman. This is our future. He looked great.
Elijah Brown, 5 for 5, 80 yards on the drive, and his first touchdown pass to Ismail Cece. Emmett Kenny. 38-7, Stanford, just over 10 minutes to go. The freshman.
Hey, that freshman looking towards the sideline saying, Coach, I got you, baby. Let me spin it.
Stanford has taken control here in the second half and have opened up a 38-7 lead on the Cal Poly Mustangs. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Emmett Kenny will kick off to Evan Burkhart. Interesting to note that Cal Poly is the only athletic department in the stadium today that has anything to do with the Pac-12 anymore. Their wrestling team competes in the Pac-12.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for hanging out, Cal Poly.
And Emmett Kenny, it'll be a touchback out to the 25. When the Mustangs go back to work on offense, it's Stanford inching toward their first home win under Troy Taylor. Well, the special teams have had a significant impact for the Cardinal today. Aristotle Taylor, the blocked field goal. The fake punt, Tristan Sinclair running for a first down. And, of course, Tiger Bachmeier's house call.
Tiger. Let's go, Tiger. Hey, I love seeing the special forces go out there and make an impact on the game. People forget about these guys, man. You mentioned the blocked field goal, the fake punt, 90 yards to the house. I mean, everything is working for Stanford right now. And they got a freshman, and he takes him down the field and scores a touchdown. It's looking good. Now it's about finishing strong and being disciplined, right? Stay focused. When you're up 38-7, things get loose a little bit.
Change of quarterback for Cal Poly. Jackson Akins takes over, the sophomore from Phoenix, the transfer from Division III, Mount Union. And they'll run it with Jaden Matthews. But Akins came in last week, engineered a touchdown drive late against San Diego. Went 5 for 8 through the air for 60 yards. Last year played in 4 games at the D3 level, throwing 3 touchdowns, running for another for Mount Union College in Alliance, Ohio.
It's an opportunity for him to show the coaches that he's worthy to be in the competition at the QB spot. So be efficient, no procedure penalties, clean mesh in the backfield, get the football off on time, instill some trust.
Nothing there for Jaden Matthews. Matt Rose on the tackle for the Cardinal. And it's 3rd down for the Mustangs. 6 tackles for loss now for Bobby April's defense. We should point out, up until that last drive, Cal Poly had not converted on 3rd down all day. They are 1 for 7 on 3rd down. Akins identifies the pressure and completes it, and it's a 1st down to Aiden Ramos.
Great job. You said it, Roxy. Identifies the pressure. You got a blitzer off the edge. You got your back swinging to the right. Your wide receivers occupying the corner. You know exactly where to go with that football. Great job there.
16 yards to Ramos. And a Cal Poly 1st down out to the 45. Approaching 8.5 minutes to go. The Mustangs will be home next week for Division II Western Oregon. It appears they'll be searching for their first win of 2024. And there's the fly sweep and the handoff, and spun down is Tyrese Fairleigh-Diop. And a short gain. And here is the schedule for the Mustangs. And they play in the Big Sky, which is arguably the toughest conference at the FCS level.
Yeah.
And some of these teams, like UC Davis, is really good. Certainly Idaho, what they did against Oregon last week. Montana, Sac State. It's a tough schedule that Cal Poly has coming up.
Yeah, I was at the Oregon State-Idaho State game. You know, don't sleep on them, too. It was, what, 7-9 at some point late in the 1st half.
2nd down, Akins. And Jason Frausto-Ramos hog ties Jake Woods, who had the touchdown catch in the 1st half. And he pulls him down, bring him 3rd and short.
So far, so good for this young man in the backup number 2.
You know, some of these guys may want to go with those shorter undershirts because that's twice now we've seen guys grab and just hold on and not let guys escape by getting that undershirt.
Kills the swag, though, Roxy. You got to have it loose down there, you know?
It's more important to look good than it is to feel good.
Hey, hey, sometimes, what did Deion say? You look good, you play good? That's how them boys feeling.
Play action, and the blitz off the edge. Jason Frausto-Ramos the sack. And the 1st sack for the Stanford defense today.
Yeah, that's just a good play call. Sometimes you dial it up perfectly, and your players do exactly what they're supposed to do. I love the intensity that we're still seeing out of the Stanford defense this late in the game with this lead.
Forcing a punt for the Mustangs with 6.5 minutes to go. 8 yards on the sack for Frausto-Ramos. Jesse Ehrlich will punt to Tiger Bachmeyer. And a short end over end punt. And it rolls in, and Bachmeyer fields it at a knee. Stanford will have the football at the 15-yard line. Cable cars through San Francisco. And the Cardinal rolling on the farm. So Stanford has gone 686 days since their last win here at home. And Troy Taylor now 6-13 away from his first home victory as the Stanford head coach, with his Cardinal up 38-7. October of 22 in a win against Arizona State, the last time the Cardinal won here at home. And picking his way through the line is Chris Davis Jr., with Elijah Brown continuing at quarterback for Stanford.
Yeah, and congrats to Coach Early. I'm going to go out there on a limb and say he's going to get it done here today, Roxy. And
way to put yourself out there, Bob.
I try.
There's an injury to a Cal Poly player. That is Thomas Buda, their starting defensive end. The junior from Newport Beach, who missed last season with an injury. And he is still down, getting looked at by the medical staff, the athletic training staff for the Cal Poly Mustangs. 38-7, Stanford with the lead. Paul Wolf, also the head coach for the Mustangs, showing some concern for his junior defensive end. And it's the right leg, it appears to be the problem right now for Thomas Buda.
Yeah, this is what you don't want to see. The game is it's pretty much over, but you want these guys to go out there and put stuff on film. And it looks like they're stretching him out, so maybe it's just a cramp, but yeah, hopefully the young man is okay and he's able to compete next week.
And he's critical for Cal Poly this year. That, even talked to the Stanford people about the strength for Cal Poly. It's that defensive line.
Yeah.
Guys like him, certainly Elijah Ponder, Ethan Rodriguez, who's had a strong game. Timeout, will take it. 5:54 to go, and Stanford up 38-7.
Interference, number 34.
Good to see Thomas Buda walk off the field under his own power. Appears to be okay. And with 5:54 to go, Stanford with the football up 38-7. What's turning into an interesting day around the ACC. Stanford trying to get the win here. Pitt had a really good win on the road at Cincinnati. Clemson is rolling App State late in the first half. As Elijah Brown remains perfect. Penalty marker is down as he was hit late by Elijah Ponder. And the pass complete for a first down, and Stanford will get 15 more.
Yeah, it looks like they hit him high there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting. Defense number 14. The previous play is under further review.
So if they confirm the targeting on Elijah Ponder, he is disqualified for the rest of this one. And he will be out for the first half of their game against Western Oregon next week. And that, to me, appears to be textbook targeting, and there's no question.
Yeah, he'll definitely be disqualified, which is unfortunate because he's their best defender. You talked about him having NFL potential. When you don't have him out on the football field, it looks a bit different for Cal Poly. But good job, Brown, standing in there, making the throw, and completing the pass.
So it is under review. The call on the field was targeting, and here is the rule. Dangerous hit involving launch, upward thrust, or severe strike, and he did appear to make head-to-head contact with Elijah Brown. And our officiating crew, led by Nate Black, in communication. Our replay official is Matt McEnany, signed by the ACC. But also around the ACC today, Wake through 3, leading Virginia. Winston-Salem, and how about Cal going on the road? The mighty Golden Bears to SEC country and forcing turnovers, and they beat Auburn.
Hey, they look good. They look good out there.
After further review, the ruling on the field of targeting has been confirmed. Number 14 has been disqualified for the remainder of the game.
So it is confirmed. Elijah Ponder disqualified for the rest of this one and will be forced to miss the first half of Cal Poly's game next week at home.
What's tough about it is that's the right call. There was nothing malicious about what he was doing, but you know, you got to hit that target zone. They're protecting these quarterbacks as they should.
And 15 more for Stanford out across the 40-yard line. Brown 6 for 6, 85 yards, and getting his first college football action for the talented freshman quarterback. Speaking of talented freshmen, Chris Davis Jr. brought down shy of midfield, juking back and forth on that run.
Love the patience of Davis Jr. Didn't get overly excited. Took his time, shifted left, right. Let the bigs get upfield and work for you. Put your hand on their back and follow.
Second and 4. Elijah Brown, here's another handoff. Chris Davis Jr. cuts it back in. Davis breaking tackles. Chris Davis Jr. still going inside the 20.
Great job by Davis getting on the outside. Picked up a block by your tight end. Receivers out there blocking for you. Now get slippery. Get those knees up. Keep pumping. Finish your run. This is where fatigue is setting in right here. Guys are tired out there. You got to finish the play.
to 19 after a 32-yard run by Chris Davis Jr. Stanford now has run for over 100 yards. Stanford in the red zone so far this season. Approaching 430 yards of total offense. Chris Davis Jr. hit behind the line and dropped. Ethan Rodriguez with a tackle for loss.
Rodriguez, good job getting into the backfield. And once you get your paws on them, don't let them go. Drive your feet, get them down to the ground. Rodriguez still playing some ball.
Clock turning inside, 3:40. Second and 13 after the loss on the play. Marcus Brown goes in motion for Stanford. On the move, Elijah Brown, and he tried to get that into Mudia Rubin on the sideline. There was a flag down on the play. Rubin made the catch. Somehow stayed in bounds right near the 10, but we'll check the penalty. Great grab by Mudia Rubin.
Offense, number 88. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
True freshman tight end Benji Blackburn called for offensive PI.
I got to teach him how to do it, Roxy. There's a way to get away with that offensive PI. We'll get him right.
Did you become an expert at that?
Oh, yeah, they hated me for that.
You knew how to push the envelope. Wipes out the completion, moves Stanford back out to the 37. Second and 28. Let's see what Troy Taylor and the Cardinal dial up here. And the running with Davis Jr. And nothing there for Chris Davis Jr. Victory Johnson with the tackle. Last year took a red shirt for Coach Prime, was in Boulder with Colorado, transferred to Cal Poly. His dad Andre played in Minnesota, but so he's Victory Johnson. His brother, Champion Johnson.
Man, two great names. Well done, Mom and Pop.
Champion played at Cal. Empty backfield for Elijah Brown. Third and a long way to go. Over the middle, catch, and first career grab for Benji Blackburn. He made his debut against TCU last week. Product from Miami, one of the top 10 tight end prospects in the country. And this will take us to the 2-minute timeout.
This is
fourth down upcoming for the Cardinal.
It'll be 1 minute.
Stanford trying to finish this one off. Stanford will have a bye week next week, but we'll be busy on the ACC network. 3 games coming to you next Saturday, starting at noon Eastern. The Wolfpack, NC State takes on Louisiana Tech, followed by Ball State and the Cam Ward-led Canes, the 12th-ranked Miami Hurricanes at 3:30 Eastern. Then we'll wrap up our triple header, 8 Eastern, 5 out here on the West Coast. Maryland, former ACC member, taking on Virginia. 3 games next Saturday on the ACC network.
No. Correct.
All right, your impressions of Stanford today.
Stanford, all around a good game. I think eventually, when I went into this game, I felt like they would wear Cal Poly down. I think that's what we saw. Daniels needed to be more accurate. We saw that. You wanted to see receivers make plays. We've seen 13 do that as well. And when you're able to get young guys on the football field and give them an opportunity to compete, that's a clear indication things are going really good.
Field goal unit heading out for Emmett Kenny. This will be a 43-yarder. He's already converted 1 today. The Fargo, North Dakota product, Emmett Kenny. 2-time academic all Pac-12 performer. Now, of course, Stanford in their first year in the ACC. Kenny from 43 yards. And Emmett Kenny right down the middle. 41-7 Stanford. Look, you and I saw Stanford quite a bit.
Yeah.
The last number of years, but last year Troy Taylor's year 1, now to year 2. How much better is Stanford at this point above than they were a year ago?
Oh, light years ahead. Just pure execution and fixing the things that they struggled with last week. I think that is a pure indication that things are going in the right direction. They shuffled the offensive line, struggled a little bit in the first quarter, but got things going. We've seen multiple quarterbacks out there. Defensively, it seemed like they were better tacklers today. Still let a couple plays go by, but that's football. Guys are going to make plays. So the foundation is set. Now it's about crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and getting guys in here that you feel like that can execute your game plan.
And what jumps out to me about Stanford is they're deeper.
Yeah.
They're bigger. They're more physical than they were a year ago. And those were significant strides that Troy Taylor knew this program needed to make.
What did Coach say? They put like 300 pounds of muscle on during the offseason or something like that? More than that,
700.
Huh? 700, goodness
across
gracious.
the board.
That's wild.
Kickoff from Kenny. Evan Burkhart on the return. And Burkhart cuts it back. Now to the outside and out near the 35. Nice return. Finally tackled by David Casamervis. And you need to wrestle. That's a Dubre away from the Cal Poly sideline. 1:48 to play. And Cal Poly with the ball at their own 36. And it's Jackson Akins continuing at quarterback. So the Cardinal, who lost to an FCS team last year, dismantled Cal Poly in the second half today in the short game for Kendrick Sanders. But this was a game that, look, if you're ever worried about a team taking somebody lightly, Stanford was not doing that coming into this game. They knew they wanted to get that elusive first home win.
Yep.
And they also remember what happened against Sac State a year ago, and Troy Taylor made it clear to his team this week.
Yeah, and you got to make it about you as well, all right? If we do the things that we're supposed to do, we should take care of this game. I don't care what name is on the jersey, what logo is on the helmet. You go and play Stanford football, and you should be victorious.
To quote Herm Edwards, you play to win the game.
Yes, you do.
Jackson Akins on the rollout, and some room to run. And Ty Borland brought down shy of midfield. First down for the Mustangs. We're inside the final minute.
Believe it or not, Cal is still working on things. There's a play action game. Can this kid Atkins come in and compete for a job? Can these twos execute against Stanford? It's always being evaluated.
Jackson Akins, handoff, and Jayshawn Frausto Ramos off the edge with a tackle at the line of scrimmage. So let's see if Cal Poly run another play. Jackson Akins checking with the sideline after the loss of one. Stanford's 8th tackle for loss in this game. And they'll run one more play, it appears. Akins. And just get it off. Jackson Akins, final play of the game. Climbs the pocket. And it's bobbled and it's incomplete. And that will do it. 41-7. Troy Taylor and the Stanford Cardinal get the win, and the first home win under Troy Taylor for Stanford.
Hey, great job. I'm sure they're happy. There's always things to work on. They're going to look at the score and say, what are you talking about? Yeah, there are things that Troy's gonna handle, but I hope he enjoys this and then the guys celebrate for him.
Big day for the Stanford offense, 437 yards of total offense. Ashton Daniels, a couple of touchdown passes, and the Cardinal defense were strong as well. Stanford 1-1, a bye week next week before they head to Syracuse to take on the Orange. For Michael Bumpus, Sherry Burris, and our ACC Network crew, Roxy Bernstein, so long from the farm. 41-7, Stanford the win.